Okay. So today we will discuss about the architecture part. So in the part of architecture, for example, in the Informatica Corporation, we have multiple products. Okay. So whenever we are installing the Informatica product, for example, Informatica Power Center, just assume Informatica Power Center. Okay. If I'm installing this one, or if I'm installing IDQ next version, or if I'm installing the MDM, or if I'm installing the BDE, big data edition. Okay. If I'm installing the data lake. Okay. So whatever it may be, the software is the common software. Okay, sir. Means everything is common based on the ever hotfix. One of the small piece of software that is called as hotfix. This hotfix 1 or hotfix 2 or hotfix 3 or 4, we have the different types of hotfixes. So now if I am installing the Informatica Power Center, the people will give the license, Informatica license with hotfix, hotfix 1. I want the IDQ license, then same license, but with hotfix 2. Then hotfix 2 means hotfix 1 plus 2. Here this is the part of 2 also. So if you are purchasing the hotfix 2 means here hotfix 1 also, that is IDQ. So IDQ means whenever we are installing the IDQ, Informatica Power Center also will install. Power Center as well as IDQ, both softwares will install. Okay. So now in my system, I have the license with hotfix 2. Means IDQ I have as well as Informatica Power Center also we have. Okay. So based on our requirement, I want only Informatica Power Center. Then we have to install only Informatica Power Center components only. Power Center components only we have to install. No, I want IDQ also. Then we have to add the IDQ components also. So now we will see now my architecture session. Okay, in my overall level is IDQ level. So if IDQ architecture means we have to discuss about first Informatica Power Center architecture, then we have to extending to IDQ architecture. Okay, so now whenever we are installing the Informatica Power Center or any Informatica Power Mart, Informatica Power Mart is the previous version for Power Center, right? So first Power Mart, then Power Center, like that. So Power Center is the advanced version for Power Mart. Okay, so whenever you are installing, what are the components get installed in Informatica Power Mart or Power Center or IDQ? Okay, sir. So now we will discuss whenever you are installing the Informatica product in our system, what are the components will get installed? That is important point. Okay. So now we will see. First of all, whenever I am installing the Informatica in my system, Power Center clients will install. Power Center clients. Informatica Power Center clients. What are the types of Informatica Power Center clients means? Clients means already you people are aware. Power Center Designer, Power Center Designer, Power Center Workflow Manager, Power Center Workflow Monitor, Power Center Repository Manager. These four called as Power Center clients. These four called as Power Center clients. After this, Power Center clients is the first component. Second one is what is the second component get installed? Power Center repository. Power Center repository is the second component. It get installed. Okay. Once it is installed, then next one is what is the third component? Integration. Sorry. Power Center repository service. Power Center repository service also get installed. Power Center repository service. And fourth one is integration service also will get installed, integration service. And fifth one is power center administration console, power center administration console. Next one is power center administration console and SAP BW services, SAP BW services and power center domain. Next, web service hub, web service hub. Just order purpose what I'm doing, just I'm keeping this power center domain is the sixth position. So these eight components, generally these six components, Informatica Power Center clients, Power Center repository service, integration service, Power Center administration service, Power Center administration PCAC, Power Center administration console. Okay, PCAC short form is PCAC for easy understanding purpose. Integration service means that is IS, integration service. RS means Power Center repository service, RS, repository service, RS. Okay, so this is rep. Rep means Power Center repository rep. Okay, these are the things. Here WSH, web service hub. Okay, whatever. So like these 1 to 6, these called as power mart architecture. Whenever you are installing the very low level product, that is Informatica Power Mart, then what are the components get installed means these 6 components will get installed. Okay. So now I want to upgrade my software from Power Mart to Power Center, then we have to install these two also. So 1 to 8 Power Center Informatica Power Center components. So I am working on the Informatica Power Center. My license is Informatica license with hotfix 1. These are the components. Okay, then I'm upgrading to IDQ. I'm upgrading into IDQ. IDQ is a separate setup again. But base thing is Power Center is base thing. If you know very well this architecture, this is very clear. So now IDQ, Informatica developer clients. Here Informatica developer clients. Okay, same way here Power Center repository, right? Same way here model repository, one more repository extra, 2 repositories, model repository. Here Power Center repository service, same way here model repository services, MRS, model repository services, MRS, model repository services. Same way analyst services, CMS, content management services, CMS, content management services, and 14th, content management services, and mapping services, and profiling services, mapping, profiling, content management, analyst, model repository service. Okay, and something I forgot. 1 second. Metadata repository integration service. Data integration service. Here we have integration service, right? Same way, IDQ level also we have one more integration service, that is data integration service. This is data integration service, DIS. Okay, sir. So these are the components whenever one more services is there. Sorry, I forgot. SQL services. So these are the components whenever we are installing. Till this point, Informatica Power Mart. Till this point, Informatica Power Center. Till this point, Informatica Data Quality. So now, step by step, we will see all the clients, all the services, all the repositories. We will see. So, any questions? I will share the video. Please concentrate. No need to prepare any note or something. Nothing required. I will share the video. Please concentrate. If any questions, please ask me. Don't note anything. I will share the video. Okay. After this class only, I will share the video. So don't write anything. Just totally concentrate on the session. Okay. So now. Okay, so every either Power Mart or Power Center, we have Power Center clients. What are the Power Center clients means? We have four types of Power Center clients are there. One is the Power Center Designer. Second one is the Power Center Workflow Manager, Power Center Monitor, and Power Center Repository Service. Right, sir? So this is the Designer tool. This is the Designer tool. This is the Workflow Manager tool. This is the Workflow Manager tool. This is the workflow. Next one is, if you see, this is the monitor tool. If you see, this is the repository tool. Okay, we have the different applications. Clients are there. Front end, whenever we are installing, front end clients are there. So designer, what is the purpose of designer? By using the designer, we are creating the ODBC connections, we are importing the source, we are importing the target, we are creating the maplets, we are creating the mappings. The end product of designer is mapping. Same way, whenever you are creating the workflow manager, the workflow manager end product is creating the relational connections, creating the sessions, tasks, workflows, executing the workflow. That is the workflow manager. So whenever you are working with monitor, we can able to see the session log, we can able to see the status, we can able to see the statistics, load statistics like how many records extracted, how many records loaded, all these things we can able to see by using the monitor. And session logs, workflow logs, everything we can able to see. Same way, whenever you are looking into the repository manager, we can able to create the folders, we can able to do the deployment groups, okay, administrator activities, all the things we are doing. So I am doing the development. And for example, in this designer, I have created the ODBC connection. Then I am storing, whenever click on save, it is storing somewhere. Where it is storing means the entire metadata, whatever you created, sources, targets, sessions, workflows, mappings, maplets, worklets, these are all the things called as metadata, means definitions only. There is no data, only structures. Whenever you click on Control S, then automatically these all the things are storing in one database. Informatica level, one database is there. How this database is coming means, before installing the Informatica, we have to install the Oracle. Informatica will support either Oracle or DB2 or SQL Server. This is for installation purpose. Before installing the Informatica, we have to install any one of the database. Okay. So now, based on this database, we are starting the installation of Informatica. At that time, it is asking creation of this part repository. This is the Power Center repository. What is the component called as Power Center repository? Power Center repository is the Informatica level database. How much space? Default it will take 2 GB space it will take, sir. So whatever the development you are doing, the entire development. So for example, I created one mapping, Control S, the mapping is storing in Power Center repository. Whatever the workflow manager you are creating, workflows or sessions or anything, whenever click on Control S, those are storing in Power Center repository. Whatever the session logs, status, statistics, all the things we can able to storing in repository. Whatever the folders you are creating, okay, whatever the permissions you are giving, all the things we are storing in the repository. Means these all the things, whatever the development, whatever the design, whenever click on yes, control yes, automatically the entire developer metadata is storing in the repository. So that's why what we are calling this repository is nothing but simply some people will say metadata manager, not master data, metadata manager, metadata manager. How to create this one, how to manage this one, that is another tool, Informatica MDM. MDM means master data manager is there, actual as metadata manager also, that is also another tool, okay. But we are not working on this one. I don't know how it is working backend, not required also. Simply whatever the code is developed, the code is storing into metadata manager. Some people will call it as data dictionary also, but the original terminology called as Power Center repository. What is the purpose of Power Center repository is? Power Center repository is nothing but it is the Informatica level database which is maintaining the outputs of Power Center clients. Power Center clients are four types. One is the designer, one is the workflow manager, one is the workflow monitor, and next one is the repository manager. The output of these four applications are storing in Power Center repository. Okay, but this is good. But now this Power Center repository, I started my project in 2011. Just assume, okay, 2011 to 2013, we did a lot of mappings, lot of sessions, lot of workflows. All the thing saved in repository. If tomorrow somebody is loading, connecting to my repository and deleting those mappings, deleting those workflows, then there is no security, right? Everybody can access, everybody can delete, and no security. That's why this Power Center repository is controlling by one service, the service called as Informatica Power Center. The service called as Power Center Repository Services. If you see, that is our next level, Power Center Repository Service. What is this Power Center Repository Service? This Power Center Repository Service is gateway of repository. If you want to access repository, this repository, first we have to authenticate. This is authenticating. For example, one user created one mapping, control yes, and the request directly coming into Power Center repository. Then it is asking whether you are the valid user or not. It is asking your credentials, username and password. Then yes, valid user. Then it is whatever the activities, it is what Power Center repository is doing. Repository service. This is the repository service. What it is doing? Taking the your request and saving that mapping into Power Center repository. Same way, you created one workflow. Just assume in workflow manager. Then you have saved. This is also here only. Then it is also taking the request. Same means what I am saying. Yeah, we can't connect directly repository. The repository is controlling by one service that is called as repository service. This repository service, the people, seniors are saying that repository service is the gateway of repository. If you want to reach the repository, then we have to authenticate by repository service. Same way, whatever the activities are done by monitor, those activities are also controlling by repository service. Whatever the folder you are creating, whatever the permissions you are giving, all these things are controlling by controlling by repository service. This repository service is acting as a gateway of repository. So now in the last few days before, one of student faced one question. The people asked the question, what are the Informatica Power Center components? Yes, he explained all these 8. Okay, that person asked the question like, my project is in the development phase. My project is in development phase. Development phase means only developing. Still the testing is not started. Then what are the components required? Then these 3 components: Power Center clients, Power Center repository, repository services required. Only development phase. Whenever starting the testing, then we want one more component also. That is what we will see. Okay, only development phase. Just install these 3. That is enough. Power Center clients for designing, developing, monitoring, and repository. Repository service to control the repository. Repository to maintaining your metadata. Any questions? Hmm? Okay, so now if no questions, then we will continue with the remaining steps. So now this repository service only taking the request only. For example, workflow manager is asking some information, it will not respond. So always the request one way, that's it. From this Power Center clients, repository service only receiving the request, it will never respond. Only one way only. But now my development is completed. I am planning to start my testing. If I want to start the testing means I want to run the workflow. From where? From workflow manager. If you want to run the workflow, where is the workflow details? Workflow details are available in repository level. Workflow level details are all storing in repository. So now user is go to the workflows menu, start workflow. Whenever click on start workflow, the workflow manager is sending the request to repository service like user so and so user wants to run the workflow. Please provide the workflow details. What are the relation connections? What is the mapping name? What is the session name? Because all the information is available in repository, but repository service will not respond. Then what it is doing here for execution purpose, we have one more type of service that is called as integration service. What is another type of service? That is integration service. The integration service is very important service in Informatica. That's why the people are saying integration service is nothing but heart of Informatica. IS. Integration service means IS. Integration service can able to control clients, can able to control repository service also. So now the user is executing the workflow in the workflow manager. Execution, not saving. Whenever saving, the request is going in this way. Whenever you are saving, the request is going to repository service, then storing in metadata repository. But whenever you are executing, then the request is going to integration service. The execution request is going to integration service. Then the request is from workflow manager to the request is going to integration service. Then integration service receiving the request, then workflow manager is saying so and so user want to execute so and so workflow name, please provide the details. Then integration service is sending the request to repository service. Then repository will respond now. Repository will respond to integration service. Repository never respond to the clients, but it will respond to integration service. Okay. Then what it is doing? It is receiving the request from integration service. It is receiving the request from integration service. Then it is getting the information, whatever the information related to workflow, it is getting the information from manage repository and passing that information to integration service, giving the reply to integration service. So the relationship between integration service and repository service is two ways, not single way. That is, the relationship is two ways relationship. Okay, so now whenever you are executing the workflow, the request is going to integration service, the integration service is sending the request to repository service, then the repository service is getting all the workflow related information and passing that information to integration service. Now integration service checking what is the workflow, inside the workflow what is the session. Okay, session is source is there, target is there, business logic is there. Then what integration service is doing, integration service is creating three types of different threads, that is called as threading mechanism. What is that called as? Threading mechanism. Integration service is creating the three types of different types of threads. It is creating what is the those threads means, these three threads are maintained controlled by integration service. Okay, based on your mapping, based on your session, what is the relational connection you have given for the source, what is the relational connection you have given for the target, based on these details, integration service is creating the three threads. One thread is nothing but readers. What is the thread name is? Readers. One thread is nothing but writers. One thread is nothing but DTM process. One thread is nothing but DTM. So the integration service is creating the threads, threading mechanism called as threading mechanism. Parts, what are the threading mechanism components? Readers, DTM and writers. Readers purpose is to reading the data. Readers are one mechanism, small mechanism to read the data from source. Once the data is read, then the data is moving into DTM. What is the meaning of DTM? Data Transformation Manager. DTM means Data Transformation Manager. DTM. What is this doing? This Data Transformation Manager is maintaining the entire business logic. For example, this is my source. In the mapping, this is the source. Okay, this is the one filter transformation, just assume. This is one expression transformation, just assume. This is maybe one aggregator transformation, then loading the data into data where target table. This is the, we are saying this is one mapping, right? This is one mapping we are discussing. This is one mapping. This is one mapping, right? For this mapping, this is mapping. For this mapping, what we are doing? We are creating one session also, right? We are creating one session. For this entire mapping, we are creating one session. Sorry. For every mapping, one session. This is the session. What the session means? Session is nothing but set of instructions to execute the workflow. So this is the session. Once session is completed, here what we are doing? We are creating the one workflow, right? We are creating the one workflow. The workflow is come up with start option, right? So here the option called as start option. So now we are giving one link task between this workflow and session, right? Workflow and session, link task. So whenever start this workflow, this workflow is executing this session is executing this mapping. Then this mapping is in this mapping we have here readers. This is the readers. From here to here, this entire logic is handling by DTM. This logic is handling by writers. Three components are there. These three components, one is the readers. These are our data transformation manager. These are all writers. three components. These three components called as threading mechanism. These three are controlling by integration service. Now what these readers are doing, these readers are connecting into source database, firing one query, the query called as select query. The query called as select query. Select means reading, extracting. Then once query, for example, here 1000 records are there. These 1000 records are reading by source with the help of readers. Now these 1000 records moving into data transmission now. Means all the transmissions are transferring the records, and finally these all the transmissions are running by data transmission manager. Then the transmission manager is sending the data to writers. Then writers are connecting into database, means connecting into target system and firing one query, that is insert query. The insert query is maintaining the writers. Now here the query name called as insert query. So these 1000 records are loading into target table. So like that, the entire ETL process handling by integration service. So that's why integration service is the heart of Informatica. Without integration service, we can't extract, we can't transform, we can't load. So this is my source database. Just assume this is my source database, this is my target database. Then what it is happening, the readers are, whenever extracting, the readers are connecting into source system, firing one query, the query is in select query, means reading. Once data is readed, the data readers are reading the data and sending the data to DTM process, whatever we explain now, DTM process. The DTM process is receiving the data, it is controlling by all the transmissions, then it is transferring the data. Once the data is transferred, sending into writers. Then writers are connecting into the target system, loading the data. Means here the query called as insert query. Insert is nothing but loading only, right? Insert query. So like that, the entire ETL process is handling by this entire mechanism called as threading mechanism. This threading mechanism is handling by integration service. So that's why we are saying integration service is heart of Informatica. Without integration service, we can't execute, we can't complete the ETL process. Any confusion, sir? Any confusion, anybody till now? We have discussed till now what are the Power Center clients, what is the Power Center repository, what is the repository service. We have discussed about integration service also. Very important things, integration service. How the integration service is working, we have to understand actually. It's very important concept. Integration service is very important concept. We have to understand how the readers and how the writers working. So if you are explaining one mapping, how the readers are always handling by source side, select queries and all the things. Writers are always insert query or update query or delete query or reject query, all the related to target side. Remaining whatever the transmissions we are creating, all the transmissions are handling by DTM process. The components, these three components, combination of these three components called as threading mechanism, handling by integration service. Okay. Arpana ji, are you clear? Tushar sir, are you clear? Pinky ma'am?
Yes, Venkat.
Okay then. Okay. So now, once it is done, integration service is done. But actually, we have to understand whenever the workflow manager is sending the request, Workflow manager is sending the request, how the integration service receiving that request, how integration service is recognizing that request. Whenever you click on control S, how the control S saving request is going to repository service means in between we have one mechanism. That mechanism front end we can't see, but back end we can able to see. Front end we can't see, but back end one mechanism. The mechanism is providing the alert, sending the alert whenever the workflow manager click on execute workflow. Then whenever click on execute workflow, the request is going to integration service. Somebody is sending the alert. Somebody is saying, yes, you received one request from workflow manager, please respond. Backend some alert mechanism is going on. That is logical mechanism. Exactly you can say there is a one backend logical mechanism is going on. The logical mechanism called as, very important concepts of this is the logical mechanism called as power center domain. What is the next one, sir? Informatica power center domain. Informatica power center domain is the one. Informatica power center domain is the one internal component. I have mentioned here somewhere. Okay. Power center domain. This is the power center domain. Okay. Informatica power center domain is the backend mechanism to send the alerts to all the services. But how it is sending the alerts to all the services means power center domain. What is the meaning of power center domain? If somebody is asking what is the meaning of power center domain means, simply I am giving power center domain is nothing but group of nodes. That's it. Group of nodes means each power center domain having some group of nodes are there. Nodes are there. Then what is the node? We will see now. The node is nothing but this is the logical mechanism of data flow. The entire data flow is for entire data flow. For example, ETL means readers, DTM, writers. Readers are reading the data, sending to DTM. Then the node is sending one alert to DTM. We have received data, please work on. One alert mechanism. Same way workflow manager sending the request to integration service. Then this node is sending the alert to integration service. Means these nodes are making the active, these are all the transformations. If node is not working means the services are not in active mode. Deactive mode means will not respond. Simply we can say these are the activators of all these services. How many nodes like this? We can't say. That is depends on load. Depends on loads. For example, why one node is not sufficient? Yes, one node is sufficient. But why we are creating the multiple nodes? For example, if you see any aeroplane, 2 engines. One engine is currently running. Suddenly, if the engine is failed, I don't want to crash the flight. Then second engine will start. Second engine is the backup. If the second engine also failed, no other option because the people are using 2 only. This is the if this node is currently not working, then what happened? These services are inactive, but then automatically process will stop. Then second node will start. Second node also failed. Third node will stop. Third node also failed. Fourth node. How many like this? This is depends on your volume of the data. Depends on your load of the data. Means my load is taking half an hour time. Half an hour time. Continuously one node will execute, will process around 32 MBs data. 32 MBs data it will process, sir. Approximately, not exactly 32, okay? That is depends. If my data today 10 million records, if you are converting into the size 100 MBs, okay, continuously it is running 20 minutes, then minimum to minimum in worst case 3 nodes are required. Okay, sir. So in the real time, depends on your workflow, daily how many records you are receiving. That's why admin will ask, okay, today I am sending the my workflow is going to the production. Then admin will ask daily what is the data size, volume. Based on that, the admin will assign the nodes. You don't know, simply you are saying daily 2 MB data only. Then what admin will do? Admin will keep only one node. Then what will happen next day? Originally 100 MB data is coming. Then after 3-4 minutes, the loads will fail because node is down, node is shut down. There is no another node to restart. So that is depends. So we have to provide the genuine information to the admin. This admin will assign these nodes. Okay, we will see then. Okay, we will see. Here node means each node having two parts. Okay, each node is having two parts. So this is one node. Okay, so this is the one part, this is one part. Same way, this is one part, this is one part. Same way, this is one part, this is one part. Like every node is having two parts, sir. What is the first part name? What is the second part name? First part name called as AM, second part name called as SM. AM means application managers, SM means service managers. So now simply I can say this is the top part, that is AM. This down is SM. SM means service manager, application managers and service managers. What are these mechanisms? Sorry. What are these mechanisms means? Application managers means all the application names from where you are receiving the request. We have to mention the application names in application manager. So now I'm drawing one node. Okay, I'm drawing one single node. How the node is available? This is the application manager. This is the server manager. This is one node. Okay, so in the application manager, what are the applications that sending the request? Like Power Center clients. We have to mention all the application names here. In the same way, here we have to mention what are the services you want to add to: repository service, integration service, web service hub. Okay, SAP. All the services names we have to mention. What are the services we have? All the services names we have to mention. Then what will happen? Whenever you are sending the request is going to here. Same way, the request is receiving by this application manager also. Request is receiving by this application manager. Then application manager is sending the alert to service manager also. Then service manager is sending the alert to this integration service. Then it is starting creating the radars, DTM and writers. So the alert is coming in this way. But this is logically we can't see. We can see only the black color head only, means this one only we can see. But how the backend the alert is going on means from workflow manager to application manager, from application manager to service manager, from service manager to integration service. The blue color line is the logical mechanism we can't see. Okay, suddenly if this node is not working, then second node. So that's why this first node called as master node. The first node called as master node. Remaining all the nodes called as child nodes. So this is the master node. Just I'm writing as M. M means master node. M means master node. Remaining all are called as child nodes. If this master node is failed, then what will happen? Second is the master node. Second node also failed. Third become as a master node. Like that, whatever currently working mode, that node is the master node. What are the remaining nodes in the sleeping? Those called as child nodes. So this is called as power center domain. Okay, so for example, just I'm giving you one example. Earlier means not now, in 1 year back. Okay, one of my project, that is the CPQ project. Okay, CPQ project, the project is started in 2017. Okay, the expiry date, only the life of that project is 6 years. Okay, so in the 2016 November the project is expired. Then the people told we have to stop run of this project. Means we are not deleting, just we are hiding. Okay, so the people just decided please stop the schedules. We should not run the workflows from 2016 November onwards. Then what we did, we stopped. Okay, maybe some people don't know. We have stopped, but some people don't know. By mistake, the people run the workflow manually. Then what happened? Data is processed. Then client is why people run, but we don't know, somebody by mistake, somebody ran the workflow maybe. Then what we did, the people told if anybody is running manually also should not run. Then what we did, from this node we have deleted the integration service. By mistake, now somebody is requesting, the requesting IS is going and request is going to IS, but the workflow manager is sending the request to application manager is sending the request to service manager, but in service manager there is no integration service is not allocated. Then what happening? It is not able to sending the alert to integration service, then integration service is not responding, the ETL process is not working. Got it, sir? So if you want to stop the loads, what admin will do? Whatever the integration service is assigned to that workflow, in that integration service, whatever the power center domain, in the power center domain, the integration service is disabled. Then the domain can't, the node can't able to send the alert. Then integration service will not respond. If you are running, click on workflow, start workflow, start workflow, start workflow, it will never start. Sanjit, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Muzaffar, any questions? Kader, any questions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. So till now, just we have discussed about, tell me, Ravi. Any question, Ravi? No, sir. Number of nodes, okay, not depend on the target tables. That is not the matter. Number of nodes is depends on, already we discussed. The number of nodes that depends on the volume of the data. This is the first point. Volume of the data. Alright, where I'm writing. Volume of the data. And means simply we can say volume of the data and time of the loads. Time of the loads also. Load timing is running very slow. At the time integration service will not respond. Sorry, the node is will not respond. Automatically it will stop, sir. Stop in the sense termination mode, automatically terminated. Terminated means we can't say why it is terminated. Means it is going to some I don't know. Terminated means there is no specific reason why it is terminated. Okay, because the same process is running long time. Suddenly it will block. That is termination. So suddenly sometimes it will terminate. In that case, the second node will start. In that case, the second node will start. This is Informatica node mechanism. So whenever we are installing, first we have to install the domain also. In that domain, we have to install the node. Under the node, we have to provide all these services. Then only it will work. So now what I'm doing, I'm opening one application. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, later we will see. This is the one. So now, till now, yeah. Any question, please?
Actually, application manager, sir, what is check exactly when the request comes from workflow manager to application manager?
Vankar, can you come again? I didn't get your question properly.
Hello, the request goes from workflow manager to application manager.
Correct.
So application manager, what is do with that workflow manager request? What it checks in from workflow manager?
No, application manager nothing checking, sir. Just simply this is the logical mechanism, sir. Okay. Back end how it is working means these all the requests are managing by node. Node is having here application managers means what are the applications you want to become as a active, what applications deactive. Then in the application manager level, we are keeping all the application managers names we are keeping. Okay. Whenever workflow manager is sending the request, simply the application manager is passing those requests to SM. SM, here I have given one arrow dot SM. Then SM, inside the SM, what are the service managers? All the service managers are active. Automatically it will receive. This is just logical mechanism only. It is not taking any action items. Just passing the alerts. That is the only. Simply we can say this is the passing mechanism. Only passing the alerts from clients to domain to server. This is one triangle shape will come. That's it. It is not taking any action item, nothing. But why it is failing means the node capacity is very less, sir, actually. Okay, that's why the node immediately it is tired. If is loading 25 to 30 GB MB data, it is tired, then it is down. Then it is running long time, tired, it will stop. That is actually, that is also some type of application issue we can say. But why still the people are not fixing means even I'm also not sure. But as for the Informatica help menu, each node will support some time. What is the time means? Exactly there is no time, but it will support 25 to 30 MB data. Once the data is loaded into data warehouse, minimum 25 to 30 MB, after that maybe sometimes will continue, but sometimes loads will fail. Okay, sir? Is it clear, Vankar? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sir,
now,
hello, sir. Hello.
yes,
Sir, this is Ravi, sir.
tell me, Ravi.
Sir, my question was, the last time, in last class, we implemented UCT, right? Update strategy transformation.
Yes.
Yes, in that we had two target instances.
Okay.
One is for insert, another one is for update.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw the session statistics in the monitor,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to see two nodes in the stats. That's why I asked this question. At node 1 and node 2.
No,
Node
sir.
1.
1 second. I came to our point, sir. Actually, sir, here, yes, sir. The nodes are generally in our loading, whatever the loading, we have only one node only. Here, whenever you are working with instances, two instances, node also will create the two instances, but not the two nodes. Two nodes are not running parallelly, sir. One node only creating the two instances. That's it. Node 1, node 2, those are the instances only. Whenever you are creating the multiple target instance, automatically node instances also will come. That's it. Okay, sir. But because in that software, one node only, sir, we can't create the multiple nodes, more than one node. We can't create in these pirated softwares. We can't create. Okay, sir. Always these init tools or whatever. Even my system also, I have only one node only. But if I am using the multiple targets means, like for example, one target is instance 2 times, then automatically the node also creating the 2 instances. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I thought it is a different nodes. That's why I asked.
No. Nodes always one by one only will run. Parallel node will not support. Parallelly two nodes will not run parallelly, sir. That is a different mechanism, sir. Again, that is also is there. Shared parallel mechanism also, but that is a different mechanism. But generally one node by node, it will run. Okay, sir. So now,
So you're saying single node can support single target?
sir, here not the target. Don't think about the point of target point of view, sir. Okay, sir. It is entire node is the relation between, it is creating the one alert between application to the server, sir. Application to servers. Okay. It is not connecting with anywhere. It is not connecting with targets. Without servers, for example, if integration service is not there, then this ATM process, readers, writers will not work. Okay, so the node is not connecting into your target, not connecting into your source. Node is internally only for Informatica components only, not for database components, not for data warehouse components. That is only designed for Informatica servers and Informatica clients. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. So now, my project starting day, people told every day we will receive 10 MB data. Then what I decided, my admin is decided kept only one node. But later, the people are saying increasing the data. Then what we have to do? We have to edit the nodes, add the nodes, or deleting the nodes, or adding the services, or deleting the services, adding the applications, deleting the applications. What I'm doing, how to manage this node, how to add the node, how to shut down the domain, how to create the service, how to delete the repository service, how to start the integration service, all these operations how to handle. For that, we have one application, the application called as Power Center Administration Console. This is the Power Center Administration Console. This is one application. By using this application only, PCAC means Power Center Administration Console. By using this application only, we can able to create the domains, we can able to create the nodes, we can able to manage the nodes, we can able to access, means shut down the integration service, bring up the integration service, shut down the repository service, how to create the repository service, how to delete the repository service. These all the operations we can able to perform by using this application called as Power Center Administration Console. Name itself Administration Console means this is only for admins. Okay, so now just log into this Power Center Administration Console. Whenever you are installing the Informatica, create the repository service, create the integration service, and create the domain, create the node, assigning the services, all the things we can able to perform by using Power Center Administration Console. So now just I am showing how the Power Center Administration Console, just I am connecting to the Administration Console. Administrator. So this is the domain, sir. This is the domain. Under the domain, these are the nodes. One node only I have, sir. Okay. Under the node, what are the services? All the services are under this node only. Here in the real time, the people will add one more node. Add multiple nodes we can add. Once this node is not working, then second node will start. How to create the repository service? Repository service creation, web service sub creation, metadata manager, all the services here only we have to create. So now all the services are running mode. If you want to stop any one service, here we have the options. Shut down the domain, entire domain we can able to shut down. No, I don't want to shut down. I want to only stop the service. Disable the service, recycle the service, whatever the operations. So all this backend, these all the components, whatever the components, all these components are managing by administrator service. This is only for admin's purpose. Okay, sir. Here only we are creating the repository. This is the Power Center repository, means this is the repository, sir. Whatever the repository I showed now, this repository also where you are creating, here only we can able to see that this repository. Just open this repository. This repository is under the Oracle. In the Oracle it is created this repository. Already I told either Oracle or SQL Server or DB2, right? Oracle. Which is the credentials for this, all the things. Whatever the info1 is the username, this is the password. Okay, all the tables, whatever the repository tables like OPB tables and some OPB SRV recovery, OPB, these all the tables are storing in this repository. Where is that repository? Means this is the your schema info1. Under this schema in the Oracle, string is ORCL, it is storing the entire data. This is the integration service. Wherever we are creating the, like this threading mechanism, readers, writers, and DTM process. These two. Okay, sir. If you want to provide the security point of view, we can able to provide the securities for any specific, either native securities or whatever the securities we can able to provide. Monitoring, if you want to do the monitoring operations, if you want to see the logs, if any one service is not working, if any log is failed, we can able to get all the logs here, sir. Okay, sir. This is domain. Entire domain details we can able to see by using this application. This is called as Power Center. So domain, this is the domain. Managing the domain is done by Power Center Administration Informatica. Power Center Administration Console, that is the PCAC. So this is the architecture of Informatica Power Mart. This is the architecture of Informatica Power Mart. If you are installing the Informatica Power Mart, 1 to 6 components I told, right? These are the components till now we have discussed. This is Informatica Power Mart. So now I want to extend. What is the extension of from Informatica Power Mart to Informatica Power Center? What are the extensions? What are the extensions means? This is Informatica Power Mart will support only my source is Oracle. It will read. My source is flat files. It will read. But my source is SAP. Power Mart will not support, sir. My source is mainframe. It will not support. My source is any business warehouses. It will not support. In that case, we have to upgrade to Power Center. Upgradation means adding some more extra servers to connecting with SAP systems, to connecting with TIBCO systems, to connecting with mainframe systems. Means I have to extract the data from SAP system. Then Power Center is required. Then whenever Power Center is coming into the picture, then one more service that is called as SAP BW service. What is the one more service? SAP BW service. With the help of SAP BW service, the Informatica means radars are can able to connecting with SAP systems, mainframe systems, TIBCO systems, COBOL systems. All these systems we can able to communicate. We can able to connect. SAP BW services. We have to install this SAP BW service. Whenever we are installing the SAP BW service, not only simply adding, not only simply created the SAP BW service means no. What we have to do? We have to add this SAP BW service name in service manager also. Otherwise, it will not receive the alerts. So we have to send the alerts means we have to send the service manager request. The same way, where we are creating this service with the help of, we are creating this service with the help of PCAC only. SAP BW service. Now this is the full-fledged Power Center. Almost it will support now. This tool will support almost 32 types of different types of source systems. It will support. So now here actually this is, we can say like that. For example, what will happen in Informatica Power Center? We have one specific feature actually. What is that feature means? We will see now. I have one system. Okay. The system is available in Office, my desktop. This is my desktop. The people are install the software here. Okay, sir. So this is my software desktop here. Now same desktop I have the Informatica Power Center. Whenever you are installing the software in Informatica Power Center with hotfix, then it is asking another 2 systems details. Okay. Then what I'm doing, I'm giving my one laptop also. I'm giving. Just assume I'm giving the another laptop IP address. I'm giving. Same way, I'm giving one more IP address of laptop also. I'm giving one more laptop IP address also. I'm giving. So now in my system, I have installed one service. With the help of that service, now my original software is available in desktop, but from laptop also I can able to access that software. Like it is acting as a middleware, Citrix. They acting as a middleware software. Without installing in this laptop, this laptop is connecting into this desktop, we can able to start work. It is acting as a Citrix software. I hope you people are Citrix or middleware, right? Like that it is working. For that, For that, we have to install one software, so one server that is called as Web Service Hub. What is the server name? Web Service Hub. What is the purpose of this Web Service Hub? Means this is creating one group in between within the software during the installation process, and this Web Service Hub also creating in the Power Center administration console only we are creating. This is also, whenever we are creating this one, we have to install this name also, otherwise then only it will send the alerts to Web Service Hub. We have to add the Web Service Hub details in the server manager, otherwise it will not receive the alerts. Then this is the Web Service Hub. So now these are the components. Whenever you are installing the Informatica Power Center, what are the components get installed? This is the architecture of Informatica Power Center. Informatica Power Center architecture. What are the components? Power Center clients, Power Center repository, repository service, Power Center clients, Power Center repository, repository service, integration service, Power Center domain, Power Center nodes, SAP, Power Center administration console, SAP BW service, Web Service Hub. Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 components. These 8 components called as Power Center, Informatica Power Center. This is the point. This is the Informatica Power Center architecture. So now I want to extend to IDQ. Any questions, sir, till now? Part of Informatica Power Center architecture. Anybody having any questions? Tosha sir, are you clear?
Yes, Venkat.
Okay then. Okay, sir. So now coming to the IDQ, then whenever you are upgrading from Power Center to the IDQ means there also same application. Power Center administration console is the same, but IDQ is having one more type of repository. Another repository is there in the IDQ. What is that repository? Is nothing but that is model repository. The repository called as model repository. This is also like a Power Center repository only. This is model repository. What this model repository is doing here in the Power Center, we have the Power Center clients. 4 types of clients are there, but here we have 2 types of clients in IDQ. One client called as Informatica Developer, as well as another client called as Informatica Nlist. 2 tools are there in the IDQ. Here for designing purpose, designer, workflow management purpose, workflow, monitoring purpose, monitor, administrating purpose, repository. But here all the things we can able to do in a single tool only. This is Informatica Developer Tool. So this is INFDEV, Informatica Developer Tool. This is only for developers. So this is the application, IDQ application, Informatica Developer. So here, this is the place where we are designing, developing, execution, all the things. This is the place where we can able to see the statistics, monitoring the logs, statistics, all the things. This is the place where we can able to create the projects, folders, mapping, sources, workflows, applications, all the things. This is the place where we can able to create the connections, relational connections, all the operations in a single application. But in Power Center, 4 applications are there, but here only 1 application. This is designed only for developers. So now here I have created some workflows or some mappings I have created. Whenever click on yes, Control S, then automatically the logic is the metadata is storing in MRS. But there is no security, right? Security is important. Na? Here also the MRS is controlling by another type of service that is called as Model Repository Services, MRS. This is model repository. This is model repository. This is called as Model Repository Services, MRS. Model Repository Services. So now whenever you are doing the development, whenever click on the control S, then the request is going to MRS. From MRS, the request is going to Model Repository Service. Development part, sir. This is development part. Same thing as PowerCenter only. Whenever doing the development, it is going like this. But now your boss, analyst is there. The analyst also want to do, but he don't want to work with in our application. Then that person having another tool, that is the analyst tool. How this analyst tool is working? The analyst tool is connecting into another service, analyst service. Connecting into another service, analyst service. From analyst service, from analyst service, the request is coming into analyst service. From analyst service, request is going to MRS. From MRS, it is going to like this. If you see, this is just I am explaining. This is the Informatica developer. This is the Informatica analyst. Two tools. Developer is going to the Model Repository Service and going to repository. Same way, Informatica analyst going to analyst service. From analyst service, Model Repository Service going to repository. Got it, sir? So now this is development time. Development time. What are the IDQ level development? What are the two components required? Informatica developer, MRS, Model Repository. But if you are running at that time, this is the analyst services. Analyst services. Okay. Whenever running, either you are running from analyst tool or you are running from Informatica developer tool, it will not respond. It will not respond. Then we have one more integration service here also. Name is different. The integration service name called as Data Integration Service. The name called as Data Integration Service. What is this Data Integration Service is doing? Data Integration Service is receiving the request from developer tool as well as receiving the request from analyst tool. Then the request is coming like this. Okay, 1 second. It will not come like this. It is coming to analyst. From analyst, the request is coming like this. Either request is from analyst going to repository MRS or DIS. This is the Data Integration Service, DIS. So now what this Data Integration Service is doing? What is this Data Integration Service is doing? Data Integration Service now connecting into Model Repository Service. Then whatever, okay, so and so user wants to execute, the workflow, please respond. Then it will respond to the so here again two types of communication, two ways communication here also. Like here also, what are the two types of communication? Same way here also two types of communications are there. Two types of communications are there. Okay, sir. So now, but these all the services are handling by one domain only, single domain, single node. So now we have to mention these names, MRS name, analyst service name, data integration service names also we have to mention in service manager application. Means how the relationship is coming from to here means we have to understand from service manager to MRS, from service manager to analyst service, and the same way from service manager to data integration service. Otherwise, these are an inactive mode. And how to create this shutdown and all the things from Power Center Administration Console. Same process. This is also controlling by Power Center Administration Console. This is also controlling by Power Center Administration Console. Power Center Administration Console. Creating an up, down, shutdown, or bring up all the things in the Power Center Administration Console. If you want to active or deactive, sending the alerts and all the things by Power Center domain. Common domain for Power Center and IDQ freezers. Okay. So now here integration service is creating the readers, DTM and writers, right? But here how the process is going on means under the DTM, under the data integration service is very high level performance. Earlier, only single integration service in Power Center, it is only reading, it is only DTM, every operation doing by integration service. But here, under this integration service, we have different types of sub-services are there. So those are, what are the sub-services under the integration service means, these are the sub-services. Like one is SQL services. This is only for reading the insert queries and select queries handling by SQL services. Another one is mapping service to run the entire mapping, one separate service. And another one is profiling service only for making the profiles, profiling service. And another one is CMS service, content management service, like maintaining the caches, buffers, content files, all the things are maintaining by CMS service here. So under this data integration service, we have SQL service, as well as we have mapping services, as well as we have profiling services, as well as we have CMS services. These four services are coming under integration service only. So now here, whatever mapping services, this mapping service is having this threading mechanism here. The mapping service is having threading mechanism. This threading mechanism. So simply I'm showing like this. This is the threading mechanism. These are the readers. These are the DTM. These are the writers. How the links are coming means same way. From mapping going to the readers. Readers are reading the data from the source. Okay, I will keep the source now. Then sending the data to DTM. Then DTM sending the data to writers. Then writers are writing the query into target system. So now we can say this is the source database. This is the source. Same way we can say this is the target database. So like that, sir, these are all coming under servers only. These are all coming under servers. So these are the highlighted in the violet color is the Power Center services, sir. These are the Power Center services. Highlighted in the sky blue is the IDQ services. These are all IDQ services, sir. These are all IDQ services. Okay, but these all the services, whatever the services, these all the services are controlling by Power Center Administration Console only. These all controlling by Power Center Administration Console. So Power Center Administration Console is the centralized application where we can able to manage all the types of servers. All the types of servers we can able to manage by Power Center Administration Console. By Power Center Administration Console. These are the clients, means applications. Power Center Administration Console is the application. Informatica Developer and Analyst is the IDQ applications, IDQ clients. Here designer, workflow manager, workflow mountain, repository manager is the Power Center applications. These are all applications. Here repository service, here repository service, integration service, SAP BW service, web service hub. These are the Power Center services. MRS model repository service, NList services, data integration service, SQL service, mapping service, profile service, CMS service. These are the IDQ services. So if we see now, if we see the application, what are the services I have installed, all these things. But this is the CMS, this is the NList service, this is the data integration service, this is the model repository service, this is the Power Center integration service, this is the Power Center repository service. Okay, but I did not create the web service hub and all the things because that is not required for me. So I did not create a web service hub. If you want to create, go to the actions, click on the new, then web service hub. You can create. We can create. Okay, sir. SAP BW service. Yes, you can create. So NList service and all the things. If you want to create the model metadata manager service, already I told this is the metadata manager. That is another tool. Okay. If you are working with metadata manager, we have the metadata manager studio. That is another tool, sir. Means it still extending one more step here. One more client will come. The client called as metadata manager studio, Studio, called as Studio. Okay, metadata manager studio. This is another application. Here, what is the service? Metadata manager service. This is connecting to these two repositories. If you want to work with these two repositories, then we have to connecting with metadata manager services. But we are not discussing about that one. Even I am also not that much pretty that one about that metadata manager service. But these are the, simply we can say, services point of view. These are the different services in Power Center and IDQ. These are the services. So any questions here? We will discuss. Ravi or anybody, Sanjit, Onkar, Tushar sir. Anybody having any questions, please?
No, sir, nothing from my side.
Okay, sir. So now Informatica Power Center is the three-layer architecture, sir. Actually, three-layer architecture. What the people will say, we have the different types of layers are there. Different types of layers are there. So this is Informatica Power Center is the three-layer architecture. Okay, those layers simply we can say integrate application layer and server layer and database layer. These are the three layers, sir. Any Informatica architecture, if you see, three types of layers are there. Here in this diagram, just this is Google out from downloaded from Google, highlighted in the yellow color, like green color, that is in IDQ, highlighted in the blue color, that is the Power Center. These all the things are controlling by Informatica Administrator, means PCSC Power Center Administration Console tool. This is the Informatica Administrator, whatever we have highlighted in this PCSC, this tool. Okay, sir. So now just our understanding purpose, where are the three layers? So these are all applications only, right, sir? Power Center domain also coming as a application. Power Center domain, this is also application only, sir. This is also application only. Okay, sir. So now if you see here, these are all the coming under application layer. This is all coming under application layer. This is the, if I am giving the straight line, this is, I can say, application layer. These are all the services. I can say this is the server layer. Okay, these are all coming under databases. This is the Power Center repository. This is model repository, source targets. This is, I can say, database layer. This is, I can say, database layer. So this is application layer. This is server layer. This is, I can say, DB layer. Database layer. So like that, Informatica Power Center is the 3-layer architecture, and it is having the different types of mechanisms, different types of components. So these are the components will get installed whenever we are installing the IDQ in our system. So this